Now, my question to you, Frank, is you've been around enough politicians before. Do they actually believe, because the left at least has only been around rallies that are funded by SEIU and ACORN and everything else, that they do have these manufactured mobs, if you want to call them, where they come and they protest whatever because they've been called and told to show up? Do they really believe that that's who the American people are at these tea parties, that they've just been called up? Or is this just a word game they're playing?
Probing
The problem
question.
is that these politicians live in Washington, they breathe Washington, they eat Washington, and so they don't see the rest of America.
Oh, boy.
And
You
so
look
they
like
do
you ate
believe that it's
Washington.
manufactured because they live in a bubble. And Glenn, I'll tell you something even more important is that so many of these senators and congressmen who are voting on this health care reform aren't even giving the public the opportunity to be heard at these town hall meetings. You know what the new strategy is? Cancel the town hall meetings, don't sit down with the public, therefore you don't end up on YouTube as the clips that you're showing. So the American people have no other choice but to fight to be heard. That's what's most frightening. They're
What a
losing their
liar.
right to be heard.
We are entering the most frightening time that I can remember in my life in America, because nobody sees the we got nitroglycerin in our shoes, and we're jumping up and down. The politicians are, public is, everybody. It is dangerous. Fall to your knees and pray for the republic, because it needs it.
I don't understand Glenn Beck. I really don't. I mean, you guys need to help me out on this. What is he talking about? I never get it. The republic's going to crumble, and the country's going to cease to exist. Why? What's the logic? I can't. You know, that's my problem. I'm on a fool's errand here, trying to look for logic in what Beck and the Limbaugh, et cetera, and what they say on Fox News. Okay, why? Why is the Republic going to fall apart? He always says it, but he never explains why. He throws out words, socialism, communism, black nationalism, SEIU, ACORN. And then other republics are going to fall apart. But why? Why? What is your logic for why it's going to fall apart? He just wants to scare the living crap out of you. He wants to do fear-mongering and get you all worked up. And then Frank Luntz. Do you know what Frank Luntz does for a living? I mean, he's a pollster, but he's not just a pollster. I don't know if you've heard of him before. He is the Republican pollster for the last 20 years. He's the one that came up with all the catchphrases you hear from the Republicans. Okay, including the Democrat Party instead of the Democratic Party. You know how sometimes they'll obnoxiously call them the Democrat Party? It's such a childish, third-grade thing to do. Frank Luntz. He's invented all this, and then the great irony of him coming on television and saying, they spent too much time in Washington. No one represents Washington more than Frank Luntz and his stupid-ass toupee. Everything about that guy is fake. He writes the memos. They're saying, hey, listen, shout and disrupt these town halls. Now, he didn't write that specific one, to be fair, but he has done it over and over again. And disrupt things so that the congressman can't speak. And when the congressman says, well, if I can't speak, I'm going to cancel it, he goes, look at that. You see that? They canceled the thing there. And when the good Americans were just shouting to be heard because they're so frustrated. All of Fox News is AstroTurf. It's built by the super rich, the lobbyists and the corporations to protect their money. And they spew out propaganda day after day after day, and they get these poor schmucks to believe it. And then they get in a panic. They're like, oh my God, the Republic, they took my economic freedom away. Really? Why? You can't go and buy a burger at McDonald's? What happened? How did they take your economic freedom away? I don't know, but he's a communist and he's a black nationalist. Ah! That's what's happened. There's no rhyme or reason to it. They don't know why they're worked up. It's because somebody got paid to get them worked up to defeat things that is against the interests of these corporations.